name's Rakan. I'm the Vice President of Business Development at UREEQA. We are a project, not necessarily an NFT project, but we're a project to protect creators. Because the biggest thing out there right now is we're out there trying to protect the creative artists, because 85% of creative work out there, original artists do not get compensated for. So our platform really is to protect, manage, and monetize creative solutions. So the big issue right now is everything's archaic, and as Stephen mentioned it, the legalities of the issues, and then and Robert and Joe, when they talked about what they're doing there. Right now, IP protection is slow and bureaucratic, right? Legacy protection agencies, they can't authenticate original creator or creative work, right? Administering royalties, NFT fraud. Stephen, I'll argue this, that I think fraud is getting larger with the expansion of the NFT sales market and the amount of different issues happening in terms of fraudulent activity is increasing. So really our platform there is to protect, manage, and monetize, validate creative solutions on the blockchain. As I mentioned, 85% of digital assets out there are actually being replicated without authorization. And creative artists are not getting compensated for that. So what we're trying to do really is put a spin and a twist. You mentioned Stephen, you mentioned the word hope. We're hoping to be that hope factor for creative artists. And we had a great announcement today, which I'll talk about shortly. So the myth right now with NFTs is that if it's minted as hash to the blockchain, it's protected, but that's not the case. Anyone can go on to OpenSea or to Rarible or to any marketplace, right click on an image, download it, change the name up, and then resell it. And that's a big problem, because so much more is happening that way. I'll talk about a couple of examples shortly, but NFT fraud is becoming widespread. The more the sales grow, the bigger it's going to be. Last year we had less than $100 million of sales in NFTs. Now we're like at 13.2 billion year to date, through Q3 2021. So copyright, blockchain doesn't inform buyers of creation of the creation was someone else's. And redeemability. A lot of times we talk about utility. Stephen, you mentioned the term utility as well. Utility is not necessarily hashed to the blockchain. So there's limited visibility on what's been redeemed and what transfers on resale. So again, what we're trying to do is just disrupt this destructive market by coming back and validating these creative works. We talk about the copyright infringement. Bill Shatner had a tweet. Someone decided to replicate that tweet and resell it. Pepe the Frog, OpenSea, had to delist $4 million of assets because people were replicating Pepe the Frog, and the original owner said, "Hey, you know what? This is not mine. Right? Take this down," because actually a number of these replications were also racist in form. So OpenSea had to delist $4 million. There's so many more of these issues. Actually, we caught an individual who there was I can't say the full story yet, but there was an artist in Cyprus that was at a music event. One of the judges came up, asked him for a copy of their CD, took that music back, and then 6 months later, that music was now replicated on a hip hop artist's album. So we're in the midst right now. We've protected it. We're now going back to the record label to say, hey, you know what? Here's the story. Let's try and get things resolved. So what do? An artist has a piece of has a digital asset, stakes their claim on our site. That's the copyright itself. Right now, as I mentioned, to issue copyright can take months to get done. People can do this in minutes on our platform. So staking their claim happens there. What happens next is that we validate the creative asset. So we have a team of validators that goes and what they do is they search out the internet, look at all the assets the creative artist sends to us, determines whether the creative solution is their own. And once we determine that it is their own, we put together what's called a package of proof. And this is basically a copyright on steroids. It really is. So what it does, it shows all the backing that any lawyer can take to any court and show that the piece of work, the piece of creative work, is that original artist's work. So along with the package of proof comes, a signed affidavit for the client, stating that this is their work. It shows all the timelines. It shows pictures of when the artist created their work. And finally, if we're looking to validate the NFT and put it on a marketplace and sell it, we can do that, and then the creative artist is able to monetize their work. And what's really important as well is that we've actually just teamed up with a storage platform called ZeroChain, because right now, if it's on a centralized network, anything could happen. Any marketplace could go down. So we've teamed up with ZeroChain to be able to store these images onto their platform. It is immutable. It's on the blockchain, but the digital item is on the blockchain. What we're talking about here is actually seeing your asset that you've purchased. The addressable market right now, it's IP protection is over $10 billion. NFTs, they've grown. They went from $13 million in a few years ago to 2021. Right now, 13.2 billion. So there is a huge market for us. As I mentioned, we're not necessarily an NFT. We're not dropping a ton of NFTs. We have in the past, but we're focused really on the validation and the metaverse as well. This is going to be a phenomenal place for us, just for the fact that everything is going to the metaverse. Think about, Joe and Robert were talking about what they're doing in esports. There's tremendous value in terms of what we're doing to validate items in the metaverse as well, whether it's land purchase or whether it's individuals that are creating gaming platforms in the metaverse. One of the things I do want to mention is as well what we've done too in terms of UREEQA's project moving forward. We've just entered the music business. We just entered and launched our music publishing administration business. This has been a long time coming for us. This has been an opportunity for us right now to be able to get to the next phase where music is becoming very, very bullish. As I mentioned, we're sitting back and we're protecting assets for creative artists. Musicians' assets are constantly being ripped off. People have their hands in these musicians' pockets. What we're doing now is working with Cobalt, which is a billion-dollar organization. What they've been able to do, they've invested in a startup like UREEQA, and we're going to be becoming the music publishing admin platform for them. Not only are we going to be providing administration royalties back to the artist, we're going to be investing in select artists, and in return, we're going to be receiving a percentage royalty from those artists. Now, this is really important because I'm pretty sure a lot of you know musical artists. These artists work, again, everyone has their hands in their pockets. We're not touching their master rights. So they're able to still retain their rights, have the royalties paid out. And when we invest in their creative rights, we're going to be able to pay out whether it's in UREEQA tokens or in cash. And then these artists themselves are able now to use these tokens to stake back into our pools to earn revenue. We have our token holders are going to benefit as well because based on the level of tokens you have, you're going to be able to invest back into the royalty stream of the musician. So there's lots going on. There's tremendous amount of value that we're bringing, and we're just absolutely excited about the revenue generation and the opportunity to work with these artists. As I mentioned, we do minting. We do our partnerships. We white label. We've partnered with DSpace, which is an NFT aggregator. We partnered with ZeroChain. We're going multi-chain to reduce those gas fees. We're going to be listing on another exchange because right now we're on Ethereum. It's very difficult for buyers who want to purchase small amounts of tokens because the gas fees are too much. Right now, our exchange is Bittrex Global, which unfortunately in the United States, no one can buy our token. So there's been a number of lessons learned going forward, but we're on the precipice now of doing something amazing, something that's really going to change the environment for us. So, I tried to rush this because we only had a little bit of time. I think we're over time now, but this is a great opportunity for us, and I'd love to be able to speak to Joe and to Robert about what you're doing, and anyone else who wants to learn more about what we're doing at UREEQA.